Сайн байцгаана уу монголоор агшин байна. За бүгдээрээ нэг хэсэг завсарсан байгаа. Энд зуны амралт дуусаад зарим мужууд маань хичээлэн шинжил эхэлчихсэн явцгааж байна. За 6 дугаар ангийнхаа Summer Adventures гэсэн хуваарийн дагуу явагдаж байгаа математикийн хичээлийг үргэлжлүүлье. За бүгдээрээ эхний 3 өдрийн хичээлийг ажилласан байгаа. За үүний дараагаар day 4 буюу 4 дахь өдөр. 4 дахь өдөр болвол хамгийн сүүлийн эхний 7 хоногийнхоо хамгийн сүүлийн математикийн хичээлтэй өдөр байна. За day 4 гээд энэ чи 2 математикийн хичээл өгөгдсөн байна. За энэ 2 математикийн хичээлийн маань эхний математикийн хичээл add and subtract money гэсэн ийм сэдвтэй хичээл байна. За multi-step word problems буюу яг олон үйлдэлтэй, нэгээс илүү үйлдэлтэй ийм өгүүлбэртэй бодлогын хичээлүүд байна. За эхний 7 хоногуд маань анхааруулж хэлэхэд эхний 7 хоногуд маань ягаад ийм хэлбэр юм шиг хичээлүүд ороод байна гэж зарим хүмүүс асууж байгаа. За энэ зуны хөтөлбөр учраас яг эхний 2-7 хоногийн хичээлүүд маань сая үзээд дуусгасан ангийнх нь хичээлүүдийг баттгсан ийм хичээлүүд байгаа. За сүүлийн 2-7 хоногийн хөтөлбөрийн маань сүүлийн 2-7 хоног нь бол яг орох, эрх хичээлд орох ангидан зориулсан суур анхан шатандаа мэдчих хэвээр хичээлийн эхний улиралдтай мэдчих хэвээр ийм мэдлэгүүдийг хамруулсан хичээлүүдтэй ийм хуваар байгаа. За бүгдээр эхнийхээ асуултыг уншаад үзье. Oliver is buying a new video game console that normally costs $329.49 and a headset that costs $84.95. There is a sale, so the video game console is discounted $40. How much does Oliver spend? За иймэрхүү бодлогууд маань болвол яг нэгээс илүү үйлдэлтэй ийм бодлогууд байгаа. Мөнгө нь ухагдгүй ороод ирэхэд болвол хоёр янзын зүйлсийг өгүүлбэрийнхаа өгөгдсөн өгөгдлөөс сайн ойлгох хэрэгтэй. Нэмэгдэх буюу орж ирж байгаа энэ буюу яг өөртөө нь төлбөр болон орж ирж байгаа. Эсвэл өөртөө нь ашиг болон орж ирж байгаа гэсэн ийм ухтгуунууд бол яг нэмэгдээд явна гэсэн үг. Хасагдаж байгаа хэлбэр байгаа. Хасагдаж байгаа төлбөр төлж байгаа out буюу мөнгө гарч явж байгаа мөнгө өөрөөс чинь төлбөр төлж болно. Юм худалдаж аваад хүнийхээ төлбөрийг төлж болно. Зээлүүлж болно. Гих мэтчлэнгээр ухагтхуунууд маань яг хасагдах буюу гэсэн ийм харилцаа үүснэ гэсэн. За мэдээж мөнгөний тэмдэгт яригадаад эхлэхээр Америкийн нэгдсэн улс болон бусад орнуудад яг зоосон мөнгө хэрэглэгддэг учраас бутархай тооны ухагтхуун бол давхар явж байгаа. За бидэнд өгөгдсөн тоонууд Oliver is buying a new video game console that normally costs $329.49. So $329.49 үнэтэй. За энэ маань бол яг game console-ийн үн байна.
Oliver.
За дараагийнх нь headset that costs $84.95. Энэ 84.95 гэдэг нь бол яг чихвчнийх нь үн байна. За тэгээд ахаад нэг юм тоо явж байна. Энд чи болохоор зэрэг өгөгдсөн дүн буюу $40 гэдэг маань тэнд юу байсан байх нь discount гэсэн байна. За энэ discount буюу хямдрал маань юуны хямдрал байсан бэ? Game console нь ийм хямдралтай байжээ гэсэн. За тэгээд яг асуулт маань болохоор зэрэг яасан? How much does Oliver spend? Нийтдээ Oliver маань хичнээн доллар зарцуулсан бэ гэдгийг олох нэ гэсэн. За бүгдээр өнгөөр нь ялгаад аваад үзье. За эхлээд нь Oliver-ийн төлсөн төлбөрүүдийг төлөх ёстой байсан тэр төлбөрүүдийг часаад үзье. За 329.49. За энэ болохоор зэрэг game console-ийнх нь үн байсан. За дээрээс нь юу худалдаж авсан? Чихвч худалдаж авсан. Чихвчний маань үн болохоор зэрэг 84.95 байсан. За эдгээр нь болохоор зэрэг яг төлбөр. За тэр 40 болохоор яасан? $40. 40 болвол discount буюу яг нөгөө game console маань ингэж хямдарсан байсан гэсэн үг. За тэгэхээр бид нар яг хэдийг game console-доо төлсөн байх нь вэ? 329.49-ийг бол төлөөгүй байх нэ. 40-ыг бууруулж авсан. За эндээсээ бүгдээрээ яг үнийг олоодох юм. 329.49. За энэ маань $40-оор хямдруулж авсан. $40. За хямдруулаад авахд бид нарт яг төлсөн үн маань хэд болж таарсныг харъя. Энэчнээс 2 болоод 10 болоод 8 and $289.49 үн төлсөн байх нэ. За ингээд буцаагаад тавиад үзье. Консолныхаа үн нь хэд болсон? 289.49. За үүн дээр нэмээд юу худалдаж авлаа? Энэ байна те. 84.95-ыг төлсөн гэ. За эндээсээ нийлээд үзэхээр 14 нэгийг саналаа. 13 сансан нэгтэйгээ 14. За нэгийг саналаа. Сансан нэгтэйгээ 14. Нэгийг саналаа. 16 17 нэгийг саналаа. Ингээд нийтдээ $374.44 зарцуулсан байна. $374.44. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Continue. Every day, Mr. Anthony stops to buy a newspaper and a coffee. The newspaper costs $2.25 and the coffee costs $1.79. Today, he pays with a $5 bill. How much change does Mr. Anthony receive today? Okay, so what does Mr. Anthony do? He buys newspaper and a coffee. Okay, newspaper costs $2.25 and a coffee costs $1.79. Okay, so that's the total amount that he has to pay every day because that's what he buys every morning. So let's go ahead and add them up. We have 14, carryover 1. With the carryover 1, it will be 10. And the carryover 1 here, decimal comes in. With the carryover 1, we will have 4. So this is the amount that Mr. Anthony has to pay. But he paid with what? $5 bill. Now, we are being asked to find how much change. Change is what? He paid more than he had to pay. So the person who sold him the newspaper and the coffee gave him in return whatever he's owed. And hence, that's the change. All right, so we will have $5 bill was given. From there, $4.04 was deducted. How much will be the change? Let's subtract it. We will borrow and rename that and subtract. We have 6 here, 9 here, and that. So the change Mr. Anthony received was 96 cents. All right, Merlina and Jackie go to the ice cream parlor. Merlina gets a mint chip milkshake that costs $5.35, and Jackie gets a banana split that costs $5.85. They pay with a $20 bill. How much change will they receive? Okay, sounds like a similar problem as the previous one. So Merlina and Jackie, they went to ice cream parlor. And Marlena got mint chip milkshake for $5.35, and Jackie got banana split for $5.85. And the question is asking, they paid with $20 bill, and what's the change? Okay, so let's go ahead and find out. Total amount they needed to pay will come with the addition. Two things that they purchased costs how much? All right, it will be 10 carry over 1. With the carry over 1, it will be 12 carry over 1, and this will be 11. So they needed to pay $11.20. However, they paid $20. So $20 bill. And whatever they owed need to be subtracted. We will borrow from here. Rename that. Okay, let's subtract. Oops, made a mistake here. Went a little bit too far. Here, 0 minus
Marlena
0
and Jackie go to the
is 0. 10 minus 2 is 8. And the decimal point comes in. 9 minus 1 is 8. And 1 minus 1 is a 0. So, Marlena and Jackie, they will receive a change of $8.80. All right, this week Kendra earned 78 from walking dogs. She also had 3 $10 bills, 4 $5 bills, 3 quarters, and 6 pennies in her wallet. How much money did Kendra have in all? Okay, so Kendra works, and her job is to walk dogs. And this week she earned how much? She earned $78 from walking dogs. All right, that's how much she earned. But she also had some money in her wallet. What did she have? She had three $10 bills. Oops. Okay, what's happening with my pen? Okay, let me just write it here. 3 $10 bills. Let me see. All right, we have 3 $10 bills. That is $30. And then we have what? 4 $5 bills. We have 4 $5 bills. And that will be $20. And then we have 3 quarters. We have 3 quarters. That will be 0.25. And that will be total of 75 cents. And we're not done yet. We have 6 pennies. So 6 pennies will be what? 6 times 0.01 is 0.06. Okay, that's how much she had in her wallet. So let's go ahead and add them all up. All the amounts, all the money that she had in her wallet, add it all together. Okay, so this is $30. This is $20. Now let's go ahead and add them. 5 plus 6 is 11. And carry over 1. With the carry over 1, we will have 8. Decimal point comes in. And we have a 0. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So $50.81. That's how much she had in her wallet. So she earned from her job, walking dogs, she earned $78. So $78. Let me mix that. And she also had 50. Oh, let me write it nicer. We had $50.81 in her wallet. So if it says in all, that is the same thing as asking all together. So let's add them up. I have 8 here. Decimal point comes in. 8 here and 12. So total amount of money that Kendra has is what? $128.81. All right, next. Jen had $567.12 in her checking account. She deposited $80 that she earned mowing lawns. Then Jen deposited her paycheck of $240.63. Finally, she wrote a check for $79.50 to pay her cell phone bill. What is Jen's balance now? All right, so this one is a jam-packed with some special words. So not just saying she bought some stuff or she got discount, and there are some terms regarding some banking and financial literacy involved right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see, checking account. Checking account. That's the account where you have your money kept. That's the money you have, okay? You're not borrowing from bank. That's your money. When it says deposit, that's the money that you put into your account. So that's going to be added. All right. And then she also deposited her paycheck, meaning she's adding some more. She's adding some more. Okay. And then finally, she wrote a check. So what does it mean to write a check? The check is to pay her cell phone bill. So if she's writing a check, that means the money is going out. So if it is asking for balance now, it just means how much does she have after all this? Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Jen had, to begin with, how much did she have? $567.12. And then what did she do? She deposited $80. Okay. Carry over one here with that. All right. After she deposited, so we took care of this first deposit. Then she deposited her paycheck. All right. So on to that, what did she do? She added some more money. That was her paycheck. And that is $240.63. Let's add it up. I will have 5 here, 7, decimal point, 7, 8, and 8. Okay, and she's not done yet. We are done with this second deposit. And let's just keep the same color here. That deposit is taken care of. Now we need to take care of the check. If she's writing a check, that means that amount is going out of her account. So now she has $887.75. From there, she's writing a check for $79.50 for her phone bill. So she needs to pay her bills. And 5 minus 0 is 5. Here we have 2 decimal point, and we need to borrow and rename that. And 17 minus 9 is 8. 7 minus 7 is 0. And we have $808.25. That's her balance after all these transactions. All right, so we have 808.25. All right, Stanley deposited one $50 bill, three $10 bills, 2 quarters, and 6 pennies into his savings account. He already had $158.60 in the savings account. How much money does Stanley have in his account now? So he had some money to begin with. He had $158.60 in his account already. So that's the amount he has. 58 and 60. And then here's that word again, deposited. Stanley deposited, meaning he added this amount of money. One $50 bill. So he's adding one $50 bill, 50, and three $10 bills. So if it's a three $10 bills, that must be $30. And then 2 quarters. 2 quarters is 50 cents. So 50 cents. And 6 pennies. 6 pennies. Okay. Now, all these got added or deposited into his account. So let's add them all together. We have 6 here. 6 plus 5 is 11. With carry over 1, decimal point comes in. This will be 9, 10, 13. And carry over 1 will make it 2. So after all these deposits, Stanley has $239.16. Right? Jenna has 8 $1 bills, 2 quarters, 3 dimes, and 2 nickels in her wallet. She buys a strawberry kiwi smoothie that costs $4.75. How much money does Jenna have left? So let's go ahead and find out how much money did she have in her wallet to begin with. So she had 8 $1 bills, so that's $8. So we're done with this. 2 quarters, that will be 50 cents. And then 3 dimes are 10 cents, that would make it 30 cents. And 2 nickels are 5 cents, that would make it 10 cents. Okay, so that's all the money she had in her wallet. So all added together, we will have 8 and 9, decimal point comes in, $8.90. So from there, she purchased some smoothie and she needs to pay for it. $8.90. From here, she paid $4.75. All right, we will borrow from here and rename that. Now we have 5 here, 1 here, and 4. So after paying for her smoothie, she has $4.15 left. Okay, Kimmy checked her lunch money account. Her balance was $27.75. Then she bought lunch for $5.25. Later, she used the account to buy a snack for $1.25. Then Kimmy deposited $8 into her account. What is Kimmy's balance now? So again, the same terms and vocabularies are being used here. Let's see. Kimmy had some money in her account to begin with. Her balance, meaning how much she had, was what? $27.75. So that's how much she started off with. And then she bought lunch. That means that's the money going out. So let's take care of that. She bought lunch for $5.25. Okay, that will be 5. And here it's 2 and a 2. All right, so she has $22.50. All right, she paid for her lunch. What's next? Next is she used her account to buy some snacks. So if she's buying something, she is spending it again. So how much is she spending now? We have $22.50. And then, oh, that looks like a 6. Let me fix that. 50 cents. And from here, she paid $1.25. Okay, so we need to borrow and rename from here. This will be 4, and this will be 10. Now, let's go ahead and subtract it. It's 5. This will be 2, and 1, and a 2. Okay, so after she paid for her snack, what did she do? She deposited. So if it says deposited, she's adding more money to her account. So she had $21.25, and now she is adding $8 to her account. All right, that will be what? $29.25 will be her balance now. $29.25. Okay, next, Jacob has a gift card valued at $50 for his favorite hobby shop. He buys a model plane that costs $42.95 and a display case for the plane that costs $22.46. How much does Jacob have to pay after using his gift cards? So he has a gift card. Gift card has a set amount, which is $50. That's how much the gift card can cover. All right, and with that gift card, he's purchasing 2 things. He's purchasing a plane that costs $42.95, and then he's purchasing a case for his plane that costs $22.46. So those are the amount he needs to pay. So let's go ahead and find out how much he has to pay all together. So let's add these 2 price. Okay, I have 11 here, carry over 1. With that, it is 14, carry over 1, and that will be 5 and a 6. Okay, this is the amount that he has to pay, $65.41. So out of that, $65.41. Out of that, he already has $50 in gift card. Okay, let's subtract that amount. We have 1, 4, decimal point here, 5, and 10. So what's left will be the amount that Jacob still needs to pay for. Okay, so $15.41. All right, now let's enter the challenge zone. And we have quite a long word problem here. Fred. So Fred had $981.15 in his savings account. Then he used $498.76 of the savings to buy a new cell phone. A week later, his screen broke, and he had to use $99.76 of his savings to get it repaired. Then Fred also used $119.40 of his savings to buy wireless headphones. What is Fred's balance now? Okay, I feel like he's going over what he has, but let's find out. So this is the amount of money he had in his savings account. So that's how much he has. And he's using some to buy cell phone. So he's using that to buy a cell phone. Okay, that's money going out. And then he's also using this to get it repaired, so broken screen. Then he is also using this amount to buy wireless headphones. So it's all subtraction here. Now let's go ahead and start with what he had to begin with. $981.15. First, what did he buy? He bought a phone, $498.76. Okay, so we need to borrow from here and rename, and that will be hold on a second. Let's see. Let me write it again. That is 981. All right, so we cannot subtract 6 from 5. We will borrow from here. This will be renamed as a 0, and this will become 50. Now we have 9 here. Now we can subtract 7 out of 0, so we will borrow from here, and this will become a 0, and now we have a 10 minus 7. That will be 3, and the decimal point comes in here. We cannot subtract 8 out of 0, so we will borrow from here, and it will be 7. This will be 10 minus 8 is 2. Again, we cannot subtract 9 out of 7. We will borrow from here. Borrow from here. And this will be 8. Now we have 17 minus 9. That is 8. And 8 minus 4 is 4. All right, that's the first thing. Now he needs to, okay, we took care of this part. Next is one, to repair his broken screen. So broken screen needs to be repaired for this amount. So let's go ahead, subtract that one, 482.39 minus 99.76. All right, let's subtract that. We have 3, and we need to borrow, rename, and this will be 13. 13 minus 7 is 6, and we have a decimal point here. We need to borrow from here. This will become 7, and now we have 11 minus 9 is 2, and again we will borrow. This will be 3. Now we have 17 minus 9. That will be 8, and this is 3. Okay, now we got his screen fixed. Next is one. He is buying wireless headphones. So let's go ahead and write it here. We have $382.63. From here, he wants to buy $119.40 worth headphones. Okay, this will be 3, 2, and we need to borrow from here. That will be renamed as 7, and we have 12 here. 12 minus 9 is 3. This will be 6 and a 2. Okay, so we paid for the headphones. What's his balance now? Meaning, how much does he have now? It is $263.23. Awesome. All right. Alex wants to buy an electric guitar and an amplifier. The guitar he wants costs $239.79, and the amplifier costs $89.99. Alex has already saved $274.37. How much more does he need to save to buy the guitar and amplifier? All right, so let's go ahead, find the costs. How much does he need to pay? He needs to pay $239.79 for the guitar, and then he needs to pay $89.99 for the amplifier. So let's find the total cost here. I have 18, carry over 1, with 17, carry over 1, and I have 18, 19 with the carryover 1 here, and this will be 12, carryover 1 will make it 3. All right, he needs to pay $329.78. All right, $329.78. From here, how much does he have saved up already? $274.37. And the difference will tell us how much more he needs to pay. All right, this will be 1, 4, decimal point comes in. Here is a 5. We need to borrow and rename this as 12. That will be 5. And Alex needs to have $55.41 to buy the guitar and amplifier. All right, this is the last question here. Angie used, why don't we try the...
Angie used a $20 bill to pay for a bottle of water. The cashier gave her back one $10 bill, 7 $1 bills, 3 quarters, and 2 pennies as change. How much did Angie's bottle of water cost?
Okay, so Angie needed to pay for his her bottle of water, but what she did was what? To give $20 bill. Okay, so she gave $20 bill, and then she got how much back? Let's subtract those amounts. She got back one $10 bill. Okay, one $10 bill. That's a $10. And 7 $1 bills. That's $7. And 3 quarters. 3 quarters will be 75 cents. And 2 pennies, that will be 2 cents. Okay, that's how much she got in change. So let's go ahead, subtract all this. Or if that is looking a little confusing, let's take a look at the amount she got back. Okay, so let's see. These are all the different bills that she got in change. So let's find out how much she got in return. All right, so let's add this all up. We have 5 plus 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. And here is the 7. Decimal point comes in. We have 7 here. And she got $17.77 in change. So remember how much she paid? She gave $20. And she got $17.77. And what's left will be the amount that she needed to pay for her bottle of water. So that's the price of water. All right, now we need to borrow from here and rename. That will be 1. And we will have 3 here, 2 here. Decimal point comes in. We have 2 here. And bottle of water costs how much? $2.23. Okay,